Doctors emphasize what hurts the prostate the most isn't holding in your urine. It's doing these 7 things repeatedly. It was 3 a.m., pitch black outside. Inside a modest suburban home in Portland, Oregon, 68-year-old Mr. Jonathan Miller, a retired high school science teacher, was once again climbing out of bed for the 7th time that night. His slippers softly scuffed against the hardwood floor as he made his way to the bathroom, careful not to trip over the cat sleeping near the hallway. The warm amber light of the bathroom cast long shadows across the tiled floor. Jonathan stood there, staring down at the toilet bowl, watching small bubbles swirl and dissipate in the water below. His mind drifted in that moment of silence, not about dreams or memories, but about how this strange, uncomfortable pattern had been repeating itself every night for the past 3 months. In the bedroom, his wife, Mary, turned over, murmuring groggily, "Maybe it's time to see a doctor tomorrow." She was used to being awoken by the squeak of the bathroom door. But lately, the frequency had become impossible to ignore. Jonathan gently pressed a hand against his lower abdomen, noting the familiar heaviness, a dull, pulling sensation that had become all too frequent. He thought back to the health checkup just a week ago. The doctor had circled a number on the lab report, PSA mildly elevated. PSA stood for prostate-specific antigen, a term he had heard before but never paid much attention to. Until now, that number, that slight elevation, was a signal, a distress flare, a whisper from his body that something wasn't quite right. The silent crisis in men's health. What Jonathan was experiencing wasn't unique. In fact, it's alarmingly common. Modern men often face a slow-burning crisis when it comes to prostate health, and most of the time, it creeps in quietly, disguised in minor daily discomforts, waved off as normal aging. But it's anything but normal. Jonathan remembered that months earlier he had begun experiencing what his doctor called hesitancy. He'd stand at the urinal in a public restroom, and no matter how strong the urge, it would take several seconds before the stream would begin. At first, he blamed stress. Retirement hadn't exactly been relaxing. Between taking care of his grandchildren and organizing community events, his calendar was fuller than ever. Still, something felt off. Recently, there had been a lingering sensation after urinating, like he hadn't completely emptied his bladder. There were even small traces of discharge on his underwear some mornings, which alarmed him. It was a sticky reminder that this wasn't just in his head. It was real. "It feels like there's a wad of cotton jammed somewhere in the urethra," he told Dr. Harold Kim, a soft-spoken urologist with over 2 decades of experience, during a consultation at Oregon Health and Science University Hospital. Dr. Kim nodded sympathetically. After putting on a pair of blue latex gloves, he gently performed a digital rectal exam. On the left edge of the prostate, he felt a small but noticeable irregularity. Nothing terrifying yet, but enough to warrant a follow-up ultrasound and another PSA test. "Jonathan," he said, tapping his notes, "your body is sending you clear messages. These scattered symptoms, the urgency, the discomfort, the incomplete feeling, they're all part of the same picture. Your prostate is asking for help." Recognizing the red flags, Dr. Kim pulled out a chart and pointed to the classic early signs of prostate trouble. 1. Urination changes. Oh, daytime urination exceeding 8 times. Oh, getting up at night twice or more. Oh, sudden urges to urinate. Oh, a thinning urine stream, intermittent flow, or a delay before starting. 2. Discomfort and pain. Oh, a dull, aching sensation in the lower back or around the anus. Oh, heaviness in the pelvis that worsens with prolonged sitting. Oh, a sensation akin to pressure on the tailbone. 3. Sexual function decline. Oh, lowered libido. Oh, erectile difficulty or reduced firmness. Oh, painful ejaculation. 4. General systemic effects. Oh, low-grade fever. Oh, fatigue and irritability. Oh, flu-like symptoms without any cold virus. Prostate health isn't just about the gland itself. It's about the entire ecosystem of a man's body. The prostate, though only about the size and weight of a walnut, roughly 20 grams, plays a vital role in both urinary function and reproduction. It's surrounded by a tough capsule, and when the inside becomes inflamed or swollen, that shell compresses surrounding nerves and tissues, setting off a cascade of symptoms. And sometimes the problem isn't even directly in the prostate, it's around it. For example, chronic constipation. When stool accumulates in the rectum, it presses against the prostate, causing local inflammation and disrupting blood flow. Gum disease. Yes, surprisingly, periodontal infections release inflammatory agents into the bloodstream that can affect the urinary tract, including the prostate. Environmental toxins. Chemicals from plastic water bottles, pesticide residues on produce, and unregulated ingredients in over-the-counter supplements can act as endocrine disruptors. These compounds mimic hormones and can trigger abnormal growth or swelling in the prostate tissue. It's not about one bad decision. It's about the daily wear and tear, the chronic inflammation, and the accumulated stress of poor habits over years, even decades. People think holding their pee now and then is the worst thing for the prostate, Dr. Kim explained, shaking his head. But that's not what really gets men into trouble. It's the repetition of small, harmful behaviors, the invisible threats hiding in plain sight every single day. The next chapter, the hidden hazards in daily life. That's when Jonathan, now deeply engaged, asked the big question. So, what are the habits we need to be avoiding? Dr. Kim turned off the fluorescent lights, clicked on a projector, and a cross-section of the male pelvis appeared on the screen. With a red laser pointer, he began circling and tapping. And what followed was an eye-opening breakdown of the most common daily habits silently harming men's prostates. 2. Saving your health. The 5-minute movement every hour at your desk. Dr. James Miller, MD. Imagine this. After a large American corporation decided to provide adjustable standing desks to its employees, something remarkable happened. The number of prostate-related doctor visits among the staff dropped by nearly 30%. Yes, nearly 1/3 fewer men needed to see their urologists. Why? Because when you stand, your pelvis naturally aligns in a vertical position, reducing pressure on the prostate by as much as 40%. This simple change, from sitting all day to standing periodically, can make a big difference. Dr. James Miller, a urologist from Chicago, often demonstrates the correct posture for standing at work. He advises using the popular Pomodoro technique. Work focus for 25 minutes, then take a 5-minute break to stand, stretch, and move. During those 5 minutes, you can do light stretches or exercises such as Kegel exercises that help strengthen the pelvic floor muscles. These tiny, almost invisible movements improve blood flow and ease pressure on the prostate gland. Take the case of Mr. Robert Wilson, a retired engineer living in suburban Ohio. Robert had a habit of sticking a small note on his coffee table at home. Get up every 30 minutes. To help himself remember, he sets an alarm on his phone. Whether he's reading the morning paper on his porch or napping in his living room recliner, once the timer goes off, Robert stands up and does a few chest-opening stretches, or even some gentle walking around the house. Over time, his neighbors would smile and joke, "There goes Bob, keeping his prostate healthy again." That little habit transformed Robert into a role model of wellness in his neighborhood. Regular screening. The prostate checkup you can't afford to miss after 40. In the United States, the American Urological Association recommends that men over 40 get an annual PSA, prostate-specific antigen, blood test, and a digital rectal exam. Dr. Miller emphasizes if your PSA number rises above 4.0, further testing like a biopsy may be needed. Think of your prostate like your car. Regular maintenance keeps it running smoothly. Men with a family history of prostate problems must be especially vigilant. Robert made it a tradition to schedule his prostate checkup every year on his birthday, a birthday gift to his own body. One recent test showed his PSA at a reassuring 1.8 nanograms per milliliter, easing his mind considerably. This underscores a vital truth. Prevention is not just a slogan, it's a real, comforting assurance. Beyond checkups, adopting small daily habits quietly supports your prostate health. 46 simple habits to quietly repair your prostate. 1. Activate your pelvic floor every day. Spend a few minutes each day doing bridge exercises or squats. These movements boost blood flow in the pelvic region, reduce prostate congestion, and even lying in bed doing pelvic floor exercises beats sitting still all day. 2. Drink smart, not just more. Hydrate regularly with small sips throughout the day, but reduce intake before bedtime to avoid frequent nighttime bathroom trips. It's about balanced hydration, not guzzling gallons at once. 3. Urinate naturally, don't hold it or force it. Avoid holding urine for too long or forcing it out. Respecting your body's natural rhythm protects prostate health. 4. Maintain a regular, moderate sex life. Your prostate is a living organ. Too much or too little activity can be harmful. Regular sex, recommended once or twice a week, helps flush out prostate fluid and reduce inflammation. 5. Manage stress and relax. Chronic anxiety and sleep deprivation overstimulate your nervous system, causing pelvic muscles to stay tense and impair prostate function. Learning to relax is essential. 6. Eat an anti-inflammatory, low-irritant diet. Choose anti-inflammatory foods like deep-sea fish, blueberries, leafy greens, and pumpkin seeds. Cut back on alcohol, caffeine, spicy, and fatty foods. These subtle changes quietly nurture your prostate. None of these habits provide instant miracles, but they accumulate day by day, guiding you closer to lasting health. Breaking myths. Honest conversations about prostate health. In Dr. Miller's clinic hallway, he often overhears younger men say things like, "I'm only 25. How could I have prostatitis?" Or, "My dad says prostate enlargement is an old man's problem. No need to worry now." These misconceptions fuel the trend of younger men ignoring prostate health. Here are 3 common myths Dr. Miller addresses. Myth number 1. Prostatitis is a sexually transmitted disease. Most prostatitis cases, 90%, are non-infectious inflammation, unrelated to sexual behavior. Causes include prolonged sitting, poor sleep, and lowered immunity, like catching a common cold. Myth number 2. Prostate enlargement equals cancer. By age 80, up to 80% of men experience prostate enlargement, but only about 5% develop cancer. Enlargement is a natural aging process, like graying hair, whereas cancer involves abnormal cell growth. 2 very different things. Myth number 3. Protecting your prostate means abstinence. Studies in Italy found that regular sex, 1 to 2 times weekly, promotes healthy prostate fluid flow and lowers inflammation risk. Like a river needs to flow to stay clean, your prostate needs regular activity to stay healthy. The real issue: lifestyle pressure on the prostate. The prostate isn't a fragile organ or a villain causing problems. The real problem is the silent, relentless pressure we place on it through modern lifestyle choices. Prolonged sitting, constipation, gum disease, poor sleep, chronic stress. These seemingly small factors accumulate and silently erode prostate health. The real warning signs are not just frequent urination or waking at night. They are signals of whole body decline. Prostate health is less a complicated medical problem and more a reflection of your overall lifestyle. When Robert left the clinic at sunset, his shadow stretched long on the sidewalk. He touched the health report in his pocket, remembering Dr. Miller's words. Prostate health is not just a man's issue. It's a life project for families, communities, and society. Robert texted his wife, "Let's have dinner early tonight." As the phone lit up his smiling face, that moment was a gentle promise to himself and his family to take care, to change, to live well. Final thoughts. In today's world, where prostate problems are common, every man needs to be the first guardian of his own health. Those little habits tucked into daily life will build a strong line of defense, quietly protecting your life's most vital foundations. Don't wait for illness to force change. Start today with small, gentle choices. Stand for 5 minutes every hour, drink smartly, sleep well, eat colorfully, and keep stress in check. Because prostate health is not a battle fought with heroic strength, but a tender, ongoing act of self-care. Health transformations are never dramatic revolutions. They are the sum of tiny, consistent acts. The 5 minutes you stand instead of sit. The 1 less drink at night. The peaceful sleep you finally get. From today on, stop ignoring that silent, often overlooked organ. It's been waiting quietly for you to care. just like Robert came to understand. True health is not about fighting disease with brute force. It's about daily kindness to your body, a gentle and loving conversation with yourself. Thanks for staying with me today. If you found this helpful, please subscribe to join us on this journey, growing, thriving, and aging gracefully together. See you next time. Don't miss it.